This is a video response both to TheSheChef and PopPrepper, whom I just subscribed. I took a look at the channel, and I just subscribed to. I took a look at the channel, and it looks like it interests me. I've been hearing from some YouTube people recently who are going through difficult times, which I know I am now too. This whole season has been really hard for me, and last year was absolutely horrible for me. And that's why I started vlogging, and I do 2 YouTube channels, and I also do Dailymotion. Now this looks like some sort of festival down here. It might be a Marché de Noël. There was a building there which was part of this subsidized housing project, which is being emptied and torn down, and that building has been gone for some time now. And you know, I know that it looks really horrible and ugly outside of my window, and it is. And this is an ugly neighborhood, but it has many practical aspects, and I pretty much like it. My spouse does not, but we've decided to stay here for a bit because it's very, very practical. It's a cold day out today. Now, what PopPrepper would like is for us to describe some aspect of prepping in our lives which has been positive, and I like the TheSheChef channel, and I like Prepper, and a lot of preppers, yeah, they do go through these manic phases where they're churning out the videos and, you know, acting like total nuts, which is kind of fun, and they usually calm down and you know, get back to a less manic rhythm of life and everything. But I appreciate their sharing, and as long as they're okay, I think that's just lovely, absolutely lovely. Again, I am getting a lot of messages from people who they're disgusted, they're on the brink of losing everything, they're in bad relationships, people are attacking them. What's going on with me now is really so bad and so sad that I just wouldn't have time to get into it. And I will try to do another clip today of more of my I Was For Sale book over on my SLOBOMOTION channel. One of the aspects about prepping, which has been very positive for me, prepper videos, prepper consciousness, is I was very, very sick the first few months of 2008, fatally ill, sent to a public hospital to have my situation stabilized, and then basically told that I was a hopeless case and I was sent to a nice place to die. And I spent a lot of time then reading financial information, because that's a lot of my background, Wall Street here in Europe and over in the United States. And I was very shocked. I was really seeing clearly in January of 2008 that we were headed for a big crash. And once I got out of the Maison de Santé, eventually, around April of 2008, I wrote a long letter to my brother and my mother, and my father was still alive then, so to my family back in the United States. And I told my brother, pay off your debts, don't take on any more, prepare, get passports for your wife and child. She's divorced him since and has the child with her, and he has to pay child support and recently alimony also. I've never known the wife, and I haven't been back to Ohio since 1994. I don't intend to ever return to the United States. Last year was scary and unpleasant for me. I was just there for 3 days and 2 nights. I was ignored. A lot of people whom I've known, like since the 1970s, called me paranoid and nuts and said, you've been very sick, you are very sick, you're paranoid. But I kept telling them, look, I called the crash of '87. I've been right about other things. I'm formally educated in finance and economic trends forecasting. I have worked as a Wall Street analyst, and I haven't been wrong yet. I just haven't. And when I was a registered representative and had clients and did estate planning and investment advice and stuff for them, I everybody was happy. I was very conservative with their money, very risky with my own, but everybody was very satisfied with me, and I'm a former member of the National Association of Securities Dealers in good standing, and that means a lot to me. Nobody lost money with me. Everybody had very, very good total returns, and I believe I gave very good advice. I haven't had any hate mail from any of them, and I still get, little Christmas cards and messages from a few of them after all these years. My spouse here in France thought that I was pretty paranoid because I started prepping quite a bit a couple of years ago, and for me it was more like having drinking water, medical supplies. When I would find good stocks of bulk food that I knew that I could store, I started doing that, and he was a little bit annoyed with it all, but he quickly saw that it made sense, and he stopped calling me paranoid for doing that, and actually he took over the shopping, and he's much better at it than I ever was. So I do the cooking, and I give him input, and he goes out and does it, which is good because I am disabled and I'm really not up to it anymore. But he's better at it than I ever was. I mean, he's a commando. Our marriage is far from perfect, but this saves us money, and it's a constructive thing to do. So I would say that I hope that makes sense to you. That's one aspect. One thing that has happened to me, which is pretty sad, is that people I've known for years, whom I've warned about what's happening and what I clearly saw coming, were very hateful toward me. And then when they realized I was right, they tried to get me to help them, which I did. And then they stabbed me in the back and ripped me off, and worse, actually, and worse. I won't get into that. Some of it was criminal. But what I think that a lot of you don't realize is that what is facing us now is much worse than any economic or political problem. The oceans are really going to be pretty much dead in 5 years maximum. And with Fukushima and the Gulf of Mexico and the Gulf Stream stalling and a lot of other things going on, many of which are the result of human screw-ups, toxic, dangerous human screw-ups. For me, I see no future for us who are alive now, for our children. It'll be like Iceland in the 19th century when there was a violent volcano and pretty much everything got killed off, except for about 8,000 horses over there who are very strong survivors. A few will survive. I don't see humankind as evolving. I think we are devolving. I don't see good things in the near future, and I can't lie to you. I do rune readings, by the way. You can check out my website if you want to. I am very expensive, but it's declared. I lose half of it to social charges, and I do give very good service, and I've been doing this since 1983 with 100% accuracy as far as I know. I did a rune reading for myself last night as far as my marriage, and it was not good. Basically, it says there's really nothing I can do about it right now. I just have to accept it. I'm stuck. Ice. Standstill. Isa. So, this is rather sad, but a lot of people are panicking right now. Oh, FEMA camps, this or that, MF Global, whatever. I think that the winter's going to be pretty calm, and that things won't start to get really bad until after March of next year. I'm not going to say why I think that, but that's just what I'm finding. I don't see Europe collapsing right now. And I'm just trying to get through my days and build my business, even though I have no expectations for long-term survival. But I've been disabled since I was 5. probably a polio vaccine, which compromised my immune system. So all of this has been quite an adventure, and I lasted a lot longer than I thought I would. I hope this makes sense to you. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. Bye-bye.